Good morning, distinguished guests. My name is Kathleen Yee, and today my team and I will be reporting on the sustainable performance of McDonald's based on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And this will be the outline of today's report. The UN has a total of 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which today we will be focusing on zero hunger. More specifically, the zero hunger that McDonald's aim to approach. McDonald's aim to tackle the goals set by the United Nations to achieve by 2030, which McDonald's will be reporting their progress on nutrition and marketing practices, food waste and donation, animals, health and welfare, community support and crisis response, farming communities, sustainable agriculture and beef, responsible antibiotic use and food safety, which our group will be looking closer at the impact area of nutrition and marketing practices and sustainable agriculture and beef. I'll now be passing on to Amy.
Thank you, Kathleen. Hi, I'm Amy. For my part of this presentation, I'll be talking about the impact area of nutrition and marketing practices covered under the target 2.1 and the impact area of community support and crisis response covered under the targets 2.3 and 2.4 relating to the Zero Hunger SDG. Although McDonald's have other SDGs, the Zero Hunger goal became their primary focus since the COVID-19 pandemic hit in 2020. Under the nutrition and marketing practices, McDonald's announced the new Happy Meal goals in 2020 with the hope to achieve them by the end of 2022. These goals were developed in collaboration with Healthier Generation, focusing on children and families, as McDonald's believe that is where they can make the biggest impact. McDonald's are aiming to achieve the 5 Happy Meal goals globally across the major markets by the end of 2022. The Global Happy Meal goals applies to all global markets with measurement and reporting of progress across the 20 major markets as highlighted in this picture. As part of these goals, McDonald's have identified childhood obesity as an issue and have found the balance between junk food and healthier food by offering nutritional options. It is with these goals that they hope to help correct and prevent future obesity. Healthier beverage options in the form of water, juice, and milk are now being offered as the beverage in Happy Meals as a healthier alternative to soft drink. They also offer salad, fruit, vegetables, and yogurt as a side for a healthier alternative to fries. By offering these healthier alternatives in the beverage and side options, this is helping to reduce the sugar and sodium intake, both of which can lead and aid to obesity. Goal 1. The aim of this goal is to ensure 50% or more of the Happy Meal bundle offerings listed on menus in each market meet McDonald's global Happy Meal nutrition criteria. To meet this criteria, this means that they must have less than or equal to 600 calories, 10% of calories from saturated fat, 650 milligrams of sodium, and 10% of calories from added sugar. Goal 2 is to remove artificial flavors and added colors from artificial sources in Happy Meals and reduce artificial preservatives in Happy Meals without sacrificing the safety, taste, quality, or value of the food. Goal 3, make nutrition information for Happy Meals available and accessible through all owned websites and mobile apps used for ordering. Goal 4, all Happy Meal bundles advertised to children will meet McDonald's global Happy Meal nutrition criteria and continue to meet any existing local regional advertising pledges. And goal 5, which is to leverage innovative marketing to help increase purchase of foods and beverages that contain recommended food groups in Happy Meals. Community support through the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2020, when the COVID-19 pandemic hit globally, McDonald's really stepped up to help the community. In the United States, McDonald's provided close to 4 million meals to frontline workers as thank you meals for their efforts in keeping the country safe throughout the pandemic. Malaysia also followed in the footsteps of the US by providing 63,000 meals to healthcare workers for their efforts. And lastly, in Australia, from late March to late May 2020, McDonald's offered our frontline workers a free hot drink or free soft drink as a thank you for their efforts. Additionally, they also sold essential items such as bread, milk, and eggs through their drive-through system to customers during the pandemic. That concludes my bit of the presentation for today. Thank you.
I will be reporting on the McDonald's approach to sustainable beef and agriculture. In 2016, McDonald's have started purchasing verified sustainable beef, which means that the beef source must meet the criteria of the Global Roundtable Sustainable Beef. There are 7 priority impacts areas addressed through the 5 beef sustainability goals McDonald's have set to achieve in 2020, which are applied to the top 10 beef supplying countries on McDonald's, making up 85% of
McDonald's world beef production.
The 7 main impact areas are climate change, farmer livelihood, protecting water resources, conserving forests, reducing food and packaging waste, respecting human rights, and promoting the health and welfare of animals. Goal number 1 is to accelerate industry progress. McDonald's aim to acquire beef and raw material from eco-friendly programs that follows and satisfy the GSBR proposition and McDonald's objectives. In 2020, all top 10 beef sourcing countries have achieved this goal, examples being Lopez Food in America and Cargill in Canada. Goal number 2 is to share knowledge and tools. McDonald's aim to connect with local farmers through farmer outreach program, which aim to help expand and exchange best techniques to improve beef sustainability. In 2020, top beef sourcing countries have supported or sponsored beef producers' sustainability groups, tools, or programs that supported the wider adoption of best practices or measured sustainability performance. One of these outreach programs is Farm Forward in the UK and Ireland. Goal number 3 is to promote flagship farmers, promoting McDonald's flagship farmers that exhibit best leading implementation. All of the top 10 beef sourcing countries recognize one or more beef producers as flagship farmers to work with and share their industry leading practices to peers at the end of 2020. Some of the examples being Gary and Sue Price, Lyle and Garnet Herman, Stephen Hughes, and the map here has exhibit the other flagship farmers as well. Goal number 4 is to pioneer new practices. McDonald's have initiated a McDonald's Progressive Farm Partnership to test and locate new applications. And all top 10 beef sourcing countries have established a pioneering research project to discover or validate new sustainability practices for beef farming, which McDonald's have partnered up with companies listed here to aim to improve grazing techniques or regenerative grazing as some examples. Goal number 5 is to conserve forests, which McDonald's aim for all beef sourced from McDonald's restaurant to support deforestation-free management. And in 2020, the goal has made a 99.4% progress. I will now pass on to Debbie.
Okay, thank you, Kathleen. Hello, I'm Debbie, and in my presentation, I will focus on the group view of McDonald's issue. Overall, McDonald's has made various actions to combat the zero hunger. The first argument is that they target families with children for their Happy Meals campaign. Second, they have made a significant progress. The third point of view is that they have an outstanding ethical approach during the pandemic. According to our research, McDonald's provide thank you meals to the frontline employees such as police officers, firefighters, and paramedics. Our final point is that they offer a healthier selections of meals for the children. McDonald's became aware of the issues of childhood obesity. Consequently, they made a new Happy Meals ingredients with improved nutrition. However, the last aspect also lead to our dissatisfaction with McDonald's. First and foremost, I will explain about the new Happy Meals project, which they claim it's healthier. As you can see from the picture on the left, the new Happy Meals will automatically include some of apple slices, a smaller size of fries, and a 15% reduction in sodium. The beverages including a new fat-free chocolate milk and 1% low-fat white milk. However, the concern is that McDonald's will still have soda as their option. The problem begins here. According to The Atlantic, Happy Meals contribute less than 10% of McDonald's sales. And surprisingly, it has fallen since 2003 because of the children's preference for the gadgets over the toys. However, children need to eat, so instead of getting a Happy Meals, their parents prefer an adult size and share it between two children. The argument is that I want to highlight is that the McDonald's attempts to promote children's health. However, it used the hidden marketing to persuade parents to buy healthier Happy Meals for the children, which had a dip in the sales. I will hand on the next slide to Eileen.
Thank you, Debbie. My name is Eileen, and here's our opinion towards McDonald's Sustainable Agriculture and Beef reports. First of all, their reports are very easy to access and open to the public. Their goals, outcomes, and detailed information are available on their corporate website. They have created multiple resources to guide viewers by creating informative brochures, web pages, statistics, maps, reports, newspaper articles, and also YouTube videos filming few of their farmers they work together with to achieve their SDG goals. By allowing public access to these reports, it allows us to have clear vision whether they're showing their effort in following the SDG plan or not. Even though McDonald's is doing great work in providing information to the audience, some people argue that they're greenwashing and that more significant changes need to be made. Beef is particularly problematic as cows release high levels of methane potent greenhouse gas in their burps and manure. The amount of feed, water, and land that cows require to produce a pound of meat is much higher than other animals, and that inflates their carbon footprint. As this industry also pollutes, consumes water, and spurs deforestation, many people argue that reducing beef operation and supply chains need to be made. McDonald's could promote and sell smaller burgers globally, a salad without chicken or any kind of meat, more wraps rather than making triple cheeseburger, or introducing bigger burger with even bigger amount of beef in the future. For more information regarding to responsible and sustainable beef production, please check this website. Next, we'll proceed to Debbie's presentation.
Thank you, Eileen. And then I will focus on my group advice against the identified issues. First and foremost, I will outline our recommendation for achieving the zero hunger. Our first advice is to look at the product's ingredients from the food company and assess whether it qualifies as a healthy food. Secondly, evaluate the food access that relates to the ability to obtain and consume a balanced healthy meal, including the ability to purchase, transport food, home storage, preparation, and cooking facilities. And lastly, assess the company's action toward the nutritional challenges. The public health advice that adults must consume 5 servings of bread, 5 servings of vegetables, and 2 servings of fruit per day. Finally, I would like to address the advice on sustainable beef agriculture. I will begin with the first suggestion to evaluate whether the business is sustaining a healthy environment and a vibrant ecosystem, since the landowners has a close relationship with the climate issue. The next point is that about the safe workforce and well-being. The industry must provide safe and healthy nutritional beef while enhancing local and regional wealth. And this leads to the last point, which is the animal welfare. Ethical treatment of animal is not only mandated by the law, but also integrated with the industry standards and guidelines. These figures are based on Australian beef sustainability framework that depicts some of what Australian government is trying to protect or improve. Now I will pass the conclusion to Eileen.
Thank you, Debbie. McDonald's is one of the most famous global fast food chain. While they're doing a wonderful job in donation, farming opportunities, and making an effort in providing healthier options for their side menus and Happy Meals, there are still some areas that need to be worked on for McDonald's to be seen as a green company. However, by focusing more on the improvements of their pricing, that could encourage poor nutritional choices, getting rid of the jumbo signs that are available in America, which can cause obesity, and introducing more healthier and meat-free main menus would encourage more significant outcome for the SDG plan Zero Hunger. We hope to see a global fast food chain restaurants to operate with more healthy menus in a soon future. McDonald's putting their name up as number 1 with the pride and respect from all customers. Thank you for listening to our presentation.